We've never had a delamination.
You haven't heard of too many people doing that in the industry.
No.
I don't think anybody is.
And you're the first one to get Azdel to do that for you?
It really just gives you the impression it's going to last forever.
We want it to be more than just a traditional laminated wall. We want to have those special features.
I'm Shane Stoffer, and I have been in the RV business going on nearly 2 decades, and I'm here to dig deep into what it takes to build something better than anything else out on the market. This is Behind the Build. Today we're headed down to Millsburg, Indiana at a place called County Line Laminating. This is a family-owned business. They've been crafting top-notch RV walls, floors, and ceilings since 2006. These guys are experts when it comes to building walls, and they build the Pause Reboot walls and roof. And today we're going to show you exactly how they do that. From start to finish, we're diving in deep into the build process to get to the bottom of what's really so different about these walls. And to kick things off, let's take a look at the aluminum tubing that forms the structure of these walls.
Our aluminum gets cut on the far end, gets stacked on the carts, and they bring it up. Something here. These guys have had it for years and years.
Yeah.
So they move over to this station, and you see he's wiping the tubes down there.
Yeah.
He's not trying to clean them. He's actually putting a chemical on there that creates a reaction so the glue has better adhesion here.
Okay.
Glue and aluminum don't like each other.
Yeah.
It's just what the aluminum is made up of. You're trying to create a chemical reaction,
Yeah.
so it takes the glue. And the glue that we use actually has an enhancer in it that also gets a better bond.
Aluminum is lightweight but incredibly strong, which is perfect for off-roading trailers. It helps reduce the weight of the trailer without sacrificing durability. Let's take a look at the Reboot wall frames all put together.
Here you can see where you got your inch set. This would be your exterior, then your half-inch foam fits.
Yeah.
Oh, see
Yeah.
that? How that?
That's the thickness, the half inch or whatever it is for that.
This is an actual Reboot wall.
Oh yeah, and there's the roof part with the arc.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you can see that.
Then you can see the radius is here, John.
oh yeah, right.
That you were
Oh,
asking.
that's around the window too.
Well, that's probably a baggage store down there.
Oh, look how thick that is.
You got
That's pretty thick.
Yeah. But yeah, they got it around the window stuff too.
Yeah, that's good.
What is this for?
Because the square corner has a lot of, it's a stress concentration area, and you get radial cracks coming out from it. This spreads the load out differently. It's like airplane windows. That's why airplane windows are round instead of square, because there's so much stress in the corner.
Look at you, Maynard.
So you're setting the standard for the airline industry as well when you do these things.
Yeah, they started following us.
They're starting to follow. That
A lot of
is,
responsibility with leadership, don't you
Yeah,
think?
and
yeah. So this is going to be
like an awning
the
back
awning.
there, right.
Yeah, and there's actually wood. See,
And then
look,
this
you
here's
can
the
see
door.
it right
Oh yeah.
there.
this here's where the door's at, John. So see how wide it is around the door?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's great.
That's really cool how they actually set it in like that.
Yeah, that is.
To be able to do
And
that
they can lay that layer
insulation.
right over the top.
Isn't that so cool how
That
they
is
do
cool.
that?
It really just gives you the impression it's going to last forever and be really stable, and as well
Yeah.
as being efficient. We know that.
I think efficient is the key, right? The insulation.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
The aluminum studs are rectangular hollow studs. The frame's designed with a lot of thought and intention. There's galvanized steel brackets, and they're positioned in key points where components need to be attached. This ensures strength to hold your trailer together. The tubing around the perimeter contains wood inserts for fastening purposes. Now, believe it or not, a lot of manufacturers do not do this, and when they screw into the aluminum, they strip out easily over time. The wood makes a fantastic backer to fastening things to it. Everything is so thoughtful, even with specific spaces to perfectly fit the foam insulation inserts, which is up next. Let's take a look at how the foam insulation plays a crucial role and how the Reboot can keep you comfortable during those hot days and those cold nights.
This is what your roof foam would get cut out of. We buy the blocks in, and then it goes on our CNC hot wire.
So that's all one big block.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's just a giant block.
Wow.
Well, we can just carve a trailer out of the middle of that.
Yeah.
Trailer that way.
Yeah, put some wheels. Put
Yeah,
some wheels on it.
We cut all our roof material out of this stuff.
There. We can make that thick of a wall, thick of a roof.
Oh yeah.
Well, we can make you a roof up to 5.5 inch.
5.5.
5.5 inches. There you go.
We could probably go 6, but then you're crowding your bag. And
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is how you can get all kind of arc shapes and stuff because you've got such a big chunk to start with. Huh?
And we can even set our 4x8 1.5 or inch foam in there on end and cut programs. We do that all the time. I'm thinking it's a 4.8
R value.
per inch.
Per inch, okay.
That particular piece is R million.
Yeah,
Right?
R1 million.
This has got to be. Look at that.
This
thing.
is R1 million.
Yeah.
So once you cut it down,
That's right.
There you go.
4.8 per inch. There you go. If you have close to 2 to 3 inches on the roof, now you're talking R10 or above.
And then that 1/2 inch foam is actually a 3-pound foam, I believe,
Oh,
which
three-
the R value is a little bit higher on that.
Oh,
3
serious?
pound is actually really good. I think Outdoors RV does like 2 pound, and they're like touted as one of the best
Yeah.
4 seasons.
That's only on that 1/2 inch.
On
This
that
is
1/2
pound
inch.
and a half.
This is 1.5 pounds. Okay, yeah. But I think that barrier is probably the most powerful thing to keep the cold out, right?
Yeah.
Because like that's where your thermal bridging is where you lose, and
Your tubing's all behind that barrier,
yeah.
and that's just aluminum's conductive, so
Right.
you'll.
Yeah, it's super conductive.
Who do you know that's doing that barrier? Have you?
Nobody else but Renegade did it on their high-end unit, their Icon unit. They're not producing it currently because they can't run it down the traditional line. It just takes too much time. But they used to do it.
The Icon is the $750,000 $2 million plus,
Um,
and they were doing it on the walls and the roof too.
Just the walls.
Just the walls, not the roof. Okay, interesting. But you haven't heard of too many people doing that in the industry.
I know.
I don't think anybody is.
The 3-pound foam does an incredible job insulating the trailer. That's actually above what the industry standard puts in most trailers. Now let's take a closer look at how this foam gets cut and fitted into the frame where it's placed nice and snug.
All the foam gets cut back in this area. I have a machine that puts this on so everything stays in place until they get it over to the
Into the
laminating.
machine? Do you put the foam through a machine that cuts it?
Yeah, this stuff we do. There's this hot wire, you can see it in motion back there right now. The light blinking.
Yeah.
That's got all sorts of programs in it where it cuts all the contours and everything.
Okay. See how tight that
Yeah,
is?
it's just perfect, right?
Like they've really like put it in nice and tight. It's just nice that they do it really tight.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of gaps or
Yeah.
spaces.
Well, yeah, there's people that throw the foam on there, feed it down so they have a little mark, and they take a knife, and if they're 1/2 inch short, it doesn't matter, they just put it in.
Yeah.
All our radius stuff gets cut back there, so it's all in a CAD file, gets entered, and then it just cuts it right down at 16. I mean, it's right, it's the same everything.
Yeah. Yeah, that
Yeah,
makes
that's
sense.
really nice.
Yeah.
Part of the efficiency of scale, isn't it? You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
You can make
Instead
it
of doing
better and faster at the same time.
Yeah, with
If you're
a
bigger.
if you're bigger and you got machines doing
Yeah.
some of it.
Exactly.
Those are roofs, right? Those are, yeah, you can see there's a radius on that one.
Oh, what do you mean?
These ones are roof.
Oh,
You can see
I
there's
didn't
a-
notice it. Yeah, I see.
Yeah, there's an arch. But these aren't Pause roofs. These aren't Reboot's roofs.
No.
It's not, but it's very similar.
Okay,
The same racker is incorporated into the Pause or the Reboot roof.
with that,
Yeah, the same, exact same racker.
you make that radius
Oh yeah.
like a thicker roof, like a, because that's maybe what, 2 to 3 inches?
In the center.
Yeah. So would it be that hard to like actually make that another like inch thick?
What?
You guys,
You can go different thicknesses. You can go bigger. Or you want to make like an ice house or something?
no, a Reboot. That goes to 40 below. You can call it an ice house. That CNC machine is really something else. It's able to cut the foam with incredible precision down to just 1/16 of an inch. That means the foam is virtually identical every time. Now, let's talk about Azdel. This is a game changer in RV construction. Azdel is a composite material that's lightweight but super strong and resistant to mold, rot, or water damage. This means the trailer walls will stay protected in any condition. Plus, Azdel offers way better insulation and soundproofing compared to traditional materials like wood or Luan. Let's take a look at what's unique about the Azdel used in the Reboot walls.
That's the Azdel. But our walls are all one continuous piece. See, those are 4x8 sheets now. Our walls are all one continuous piece.
So those are
Seams?
They're seamed, they'll just put some tape across so it doesn't pull it apart while they're pulling it in the press. That's the only reason. So this is the exact same product, the Azdel we're talking about, where it comes in 4-foot sections. But on the reboot balls, you actually have a full piece. It's got one seam, about 3 inches, because I can't get the full width. But that's along the top, I believe. But you still have a way stronger wall than.
You're the first ones to get Azdel to do that for you. Where is Azdel? Where's the company that?
They're out of West Virginia, where they produce. I'd like to get them to produce like a 100-inch wide or 80, but they can only do 77 right now. That's why we have to add our grip.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you're still gonna have a stronger wall.
Yeah, because it's continuous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so you got foam splices, and then you got Azdel splices. So if we can eliminate at least one of that, you get a better structure. Here we have to be careful that we offset the foam splices with the Azdel, so everything's not lined up.
Right.
So Azdel has the approximate same characteristics of, say, Luan, for instance.
We like Azdel better because your glue actually dives into the material and you get a better bond.
Yeah. And waterproof. And waterproof. Yeah.
It's completely composite, so you can submerge this. I've watched some people like water. Yeah, like people put it in water for like a year and pull it out and it looks the same.
Yeah.
Very uncommon for delamination. Because usually the wood is what creates delamination, because the water gets in there, it rots, and then it creates voids and that pops out.
It's either gone or else it loses adhesion, where this is not going to lose
it won't
adhesion.
Mold or, it doesn't, and then it doesn't deteriorate like wood.
Yeah.
Azdel was the right choice. Quite frankly, anybody who's not using Azdel nowadays in trailer manufacturing, they're like 10 to 20 years behind the times. This stuff is revolutionary. Now let's move on to the next layer of the wall, the fiberglass, which adds more durability and protection.
This product here is produced by the same company that the glass have used. This is just a thicker version.
Yeah, it's like, what is that, 1/4 inch?
It's almost, it's a 4.7 millimeter, which is 3/16. This is what we use on all Renegade. That's their exterior. And there's no Azdel behind this.
Okay.
This just goes straight on
and goes onto the actual aluminum. You adhere it to the.
That's a single fiberglass layer. Is that what you're saying?
You got your gel coat exterior.
Yeah.
And then everything else is just build up resin behind that, just all composite.
Yeah. So this is all one piece fiberglass.
Is that what we use on the roof and the ceiling?
Yeah, it's the same stuff that's on the ceiling on the Reboot and the top, but it's just not as thick as this.
Okay.
But that doesn't have any Azdel behind it, right?
No, this doesn't. And the Reboot doesn't need it.
Yeah, our Reboot roofs.
Your Reboot roof is just fiberglass.
Just fiberglass.
Okay. Yeah, bonded fiberglass onto the old.
Like this.
Okay.
Is it the same thickness as that on the Reboot?
No.
This is a 4.7. It's a 2.7 on the Reboot.
Okay.
They call it a 3 mil. If you're looking for a pretty face on the exterior of your wall, I think your Azdel is going to be
the best one.
It's going to take some of those imperfections that I talked about that we deal with the, that some people have a 10% tolerance on their material, which is a lot. Most of them don't. So that takes care of some of that.
So it smoothens out the.
Yeah.
So you don't get the waves.
Not as much.
You mean on a 10%, you mean the thickness of the materials.
Yeah.
It could waver on its thickness, and that would give you a variation of the surface.
Well, I'm just saying if you're supposed to be 1.5 inches, then you're 1.9/16, and then on your foam, and then your aluminum comes in a fuzz under, right there you got over a 16.
There you go. And you could spot it looking down the wall.
You see that on the big trailers. You can see they're wavy.
And some
the
of that
older they get.
is also due to the process. So you weld your frame up, and if you stack them or if you're not careful, your tube's not flush. That's a lot of it too.
Okay.
Where you get people in and they try to do it as fast as they can.
Yeah. That is really thick.
I can get 6 millimeter.
Oh wow. So this is 4.7.
4.7.
Yeah. Is it a lot heavier?
It's heavier. The stuff we put on your roof is an LD, which is considered light density.
Yeah.
This would be like their midweight. And I can get a full resin too, which is heavy.
Yeah. This does have a gel coat on it though.
It does.
Does the Reboot have a gel coat on?
Yeah.
On the exterior? Okay.
But this is a matte finish, just like yours. But they want this so they can paint it. They can paint it a lot better if you get a matte.
If you get a matte, they can paint it. Okay, I see. The tans though is a matte.
That's a matte as well.
The white reboots aren't those that's a glossy.
That's a high gloss. Yeah.
That's a high gloss finish, yeah.
He was
There you
asking yesterday, what's the best way to take care of the fiberglass? Is there a certain product you should use or put on it or anything like that? Or?
Just soap and water to wash it, I think.
Well,
Yeah.
prevent eventual UV damage, some kind of like a ceramic.
Pretty much all the fiberglass has a UV inhibitor in it.
You don't see very much UV changeover on the walls and stuff, do you?
So the stuff that was built maybe in the 80s or 90s with
Yeah.
fiberglass really kind of started coming into
Right.
the market. That stuff yellowed off. But that's
Yeah.
what a lot of people were thinking. Pretty much anything has a UV inhibitor in it to
Yeah.
help.
Prevent it from
Yeah.
the sun fading.
Yeah, I think you'll get some over time. Anything, any color is going to fade over time.
Yeah, for sure.
But they put that in there just to,
How do you do the colors? You do the colors here on his?
I buy it in. So the colors we use now, they actually had in-house. The green that we're trying to get is something they're going to have to formulate and then.
So is
get
that's
sampled.
in the fiberglass?
Yeah.
Do they paint it or how
No,
does?
it's poured in. It's actually mixed in a tank. It's
It's-
mixed in with their gel coat and then they pour it.
Okay, it's the resin that they.
That sounds like the Crane Noble fiberglass,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
you can
yeah,
buff
yeah.
it out and gouges
Yeah.
and stuff and
Yeah.
not get.
So it's pretty
the
deep.
color.
It goes in pretty deep.
Fairly deep, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know if you can see it on here. Maybe a 16th or so.
yeah, yeah. That's very cool. Okay.
If you get
Everybody
too
else-
deep, we have body guys that come in. They can re-glass it back in and paint it and just look.
Yeah. If it gets a hole or anything like that, it's repairable.
Yeah,
it is.
the fiberglass is workable.
Just
Boat
buy
shops. You go to a boat shop. That's the
You
guys
had to
that
go
do
to a
it.
boat shop.
In
Yeah.
the West, that's what we've done in the
Yeah.
past with fifth wheels.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, take it to a boat shop. They're used to doing that stuff. Fiberglass is lightweight, durable, resistant to moisture, making it a great outer layer for protecting your trailer. Now that we've seen all the main components, the aluminum frame, the foam, insulation, Azdel backing, and fiberglass, it's time to put them all together. This is where the polyurethane adhesive comes in. We actually ran into the Henkel rep who gave us some great insights into the Loctite adhesive. That's right, Loctite. That's such an iconic brand and has such a great reputation. And that's what they're using in these walls to hold them all together.
Can I be in the movie? Pretty good.
I'm just grabbing some audits.
There you go. That's our glue wrap.
Okay,
He comes in quarterly and just checks our glue,
Check.
make sure everything is.
make sure, is the glue good?
Oh, it looks great.
Yeah?
I got that one so far, and it was looking awesome. So waiting
Where-
on them to run apart. But
Where are you guys located out of?
my home base is in Rocky Hill, Connecticut, but we're all remote out of this area of the RV industry, basically. So we're Henkel, so we
Okay.
own Loctite. These are branded as Loctite, and then those are made in Chicago area called Elton, Illinois.
So the glue is actually Loctite glue or,
It's
or
branded as a
branded as-
liquid polyurethane, but we have the Loctite on there. Yep.
okay.
And then we have other, like Techno Melt is another one we have and stuff like that. So it's all
Okay.
under that umbrella.
How long has the company been around for, do you know?
It's been a while since before World War II, I believe, is when they started in Germany. So that's
Oh,
our
really?
main headquarters over there. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
They used
Learning.
to make detergent, so we own like All and Snuggles, stuff like that.
Oh, really? Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Detergents, glues.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
More of an umbrella than anything. So
So this adhesive stuff, like, do you know any fun facts about that?
this one that they're using right now is our newest enhanced version. So it has an enhanced adhesion to different substrates, aluminum and steel, especially the aluminum, the big header bars and stuff like that. We wanted to get a better bite into it.
Okay.
We just rolled it out last year.
Okay.
It's 1 part polyurethane and it uses water.
Okay,
Yep.
very cool.
We're pretty proud of this one.
Yeah, that's awesome.
They were actually, County Line was the first one to test this glue in the industry, and then they rolled with it right away. They were kind of the flagship on it. So
He says they haven't had any issues with like the D-lam or anything since they've, that's what you want to hear, right?
yep, that's awesome.
That's good. So it's not based by heat, right?
No, so they lay it down, and when they pass over it with the header there, it sprays mist. And so the mist is what activates the cure. And then, so after they run it, it starts bubbling up a little bit, and then they'll put it in the press, and that gets rid of all the bubbles, and then starts the bond, cross-linking the bond, basically.
Okay.
And then once it's in there for about 25 minutes, it's almost 90% cured when it comes out.
Okay, so it's not like a heat. Heat isn't going to activate it.
No, it,
Because
it makes
of
it
the-
flow quicker, but
Yeah.
yeah.
You're saying heat after the fact?
Yeah, like after the
Get out
fact.
in the field when
Like I'm talking about outside, the sun.
Yeah, we do a lot of testing with that. It holds up pretty well under here. I mean, if you go over a certain point, then it will start to get a little.
Yeah, like a torch, like a blowtorch.
Yeah, something like that would be fun.
Do you know what what it's supposed to be resistant towards?
We test up to 200 Fahrenheit usually, and it does have a little bit of a weaker pull because you add heat on any glue, that'll happen. But you know, we don't really see the heat go over that in the field. I think they did some testing, Crane did in Death Valley and stuff, and it went up to like 180 on the sidewalls, depending on what color. So, yeah, very safe to use. Pulls up the weather and water pretty good.
Very cool.
Yep.
Well, you asked to be on the video. You're on the
there we
video.
go.
Is that okay?
Yeah,
Is that okay? Awesome. Thank you. That's good information. County Line is pushing the industry forward, leading the way with new adhesive technology from Loctite to get a better bond to the aluminum. Now let's take a look at how the walls all come together. It starts with a plastic sheet being placed down to keep everything clean and prevent any glue from sticking where it shouldn't. Then the Azdel backing is laid out and a neat layer of glue is sprayed evenly across the surface. After that, the aluminum frame with the foam already inserted is carefully placed on top of the glue. Once that's in place, another layer of adhesive is applied to the top of the frame and foam. Finally, a sheet of fiberglass is placed on top, completing the wall structure. Okay, this is it.
That backer, they'll glue. They did that so they can glue the backside and they'll flip it off. So you got glue all the way through on this. That he just flipped over. You'll see on this.
Oh, now that's a lot of glue.
That is a lot of glue, and it's perfectly distributed.
Yeah, everywhere, right?
Yeah, there's a target gram weight that we shoot for.
Okay, look at here it goes. How much working time do you have from the time you apply that glue to where you've got to get it vacuumed up?
About 12 to 14 minutes, depends on the temperature.
Oh.
Right now we're probably sitting around 14. So glue is dropping across. There's misters on the front of that thing that spray water.
Oh, I see. So it's like silicone in that sense that it's moisture activated. Your 14 minutes doesn't really start until that's actually spraying.
Right.
And then within 14 minutes or so, you get it in here and press it. Wow, it's very interesting.
They've been using this glue since 2006.
Okay.
We've never had a D-lamp issue.
Oh, wow.
You haven't had one D-lamp yet. Come back on you.
No. We put 4 years on these walls on our product that we produce here. I don't think you'll find that anywhere else in the industry.
Yeah, 4-year warranty.
On the walls, on the D-lamp.
On the D-lamp.
That's really good. Once all the adhesive is carefully applied to each layer, from the Azdel to the frame and finally the fiberglass, the adhesive gets activated by a mist of water. This starts the bonding process immediately. And once activated, we've got just 14 minutes of working time before it sets. That means we need to move fast to get the entire wall compressed together within that window. This brings us to the next crucial step, the vacuum bag press. Let's take a look at how this machine presses the layers together, ensuring a strong, durable bond.
That's really interesting. So they're making a whole bunch of them and then they'll all press them at once? Is that kind of the idea?
No, it's all there's 4 individual tables in there.
Okay.
So, and they all operate independently of each other. That way, they can continue, and then pretty soon a guy from the other end is going to come down here and open another tier and pull out. So at any given time, there's 4 different.
Then they can pull any one of those out and go on, and while the other ones are still curing.
Yeah, there's actually a bag.
Yeah, okay.
And it's a vacuum that draws all the air out of there.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's how it actually.
That's how it is. It's not hydraulically pressed. It's just a vacuum bag. So that's how the arched roof is accommodated, because it doesn't have flat panels pushing it together hydraulically. It's vacuum bag, so the shape doesn't really matter so much. Right?
Yeah. The top of that bag just follows whatever contour. They actually produce a roof now that has the concave on the inside and convex on the outside.
Yeah.
We use our foam cutter to create a piece that goes on the bottom, and everything fits on top, so it's flat. It's not ideal, but it can be done.
Yeah, I see. How does the bag system work?
Look in the top here.
Yeah.
You can see the part in there.
We're looking at the bag right here.
Yeah, and that part underneath is what they just put in.
I see. And then the plastic just keeps the glue from making a mess or something.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
So basically what happens is you go in, the bag just loose, this thing closes, and then the vacuum pumps kick on, and it draws all the air out of there, brings that down, and holds it there at a certain pressure for 25 minutes.
25 minutes. The vacuum bag press is really impressive. Unlike traditional presses, this one can compress more complex shapes. Most RVs will have a flat roof and it won't allow for water to run off. But because of this vacuum press, they can actually create a arched roof. Once the wall has been in the press for 25 minutes, it's removed. Any excess glue is cleaned off. From there, the finishing touches are applied to make sure everything is perfect. After that, the walls are ready to be sent to the manufacturer for assembly. So this has a seam in it.
Yeah.
But that's it. Is that an interior wall?
That's a rear wall for like a Sprinter van.
Okay.
You know Renegade RV?
Yeah.
We do all their walls. That's what this is.
So Renegade is like a $500 to $1 million motor home.
Oh.
Very expensive. So that's
the little Mercedes vans that they do. They have a Mercedes van, then they have a midline like a Class C, and then they have their High Line where they have their Explorers, their Icons.
okay.
Those are the 500 to $1 million.
Yeah.
Their Icon, which they discontinued it now because it just takes so long to build.
Yeah.
That was the 750 was the base price, and then you just added your extras from there.
Yeah, I got you.
750 grand for that Renegade. That's very cool. So you're not doing you don't do a lot of traditional RV stuff?
No.
Interesting. Why not, do you think?
Well, so most of the bigger OEMs have their own lamination.
Okay.
So like Grand Design, when they started, we built their first couple units because they didn't have lamination.
Yeah.
Alliance RV, we built for those guys for about a year.
Yeah.
And then Brinkley, we did a couple.
Okay.
But
Very cool.
they grow so fast, it doesn't make sense.
They just go in-house and do it. Okay, that makes sense.
And then right now, Forest River doesn't have lamination of this division.
Yeah.
That's why we're doing it. Hopefully we can continue.
Yeah. I think for this unit, for this product, I think they won't for a while. Because this is their high-end product. Probably be using them for a long time because you're not going to do your own lamination for the Pause units.
Yeah, we don't have the capability to do what they're doing either.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, they're not
and
going to
we want it to be more than just a traditional laminated wall. We want to have those special features
Yeah.
that you're not going to find in your traditional laminated.
Yeah.
Another thing with us, so there's 5 of us. There's 4 brothers, then in-law, with ownership here. So we're invested here. We're not working for a big corporation. We're kind of the end of the road.
Owner operated.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Yeah.
I think back in the day,
It sets us apart a little bit from the big OEMs where you just punch a clock and you half kill what you're doing and you go home and you're going to take it.
Yeah. Very cool. This was an incredible treat for me. I've never actually been to a place that builds laminated walls, so it was really cool for me to see this. I'm happy that we were able to take you along this journey. We've seen how the process starts with the aluminum, carefully insulated with the precision cut foam and reinforced with the advanced Azdel backing. We've explored the benefits of fiberglass and watched as all of these components came together using cutting-edge Loctite adhesive and saw how the vacuum bag press works, allowing for the creation of even complex shapes like radial roofs. What really sets County Line Laminating apart is their attention to detail and craftsmanship. They've done walls for major brands like Grand Design, Brinkley, Alliance RV, and even the ultra high-end Renegade Icon. But despite their work with big brands, they remain family-owned and operated. They not only have the capabilities of the big companies, but also the care and dedication that only a family business can offer. It's the combination of innovation, expertise, and passion that makes County Line Laminating an industry leader, and why they're such a crucial part of what's behind the build of the new Pause Reboot. Thanks for joining us today. Click the link in the description for the free brochure on each of the Pause Reboot trailers, and stay tuned for more episodes as we continue to take you behind the build of the all-new reboots.